You're listening to the WWNO Classical Network. I'm Paul Mawson. Each week, we check in with Dave Walker, take a couple of minutes, and find out what's going on in the museum scene. Dave is host of the Museumgoer.com. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Paul. Good to see you.
So, what are we looking at this week?
Local museums will mark the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina over the next few weeks, offering public programs, exhibits, and documentary film screenings. A partial listing follows. There's a version of this on the blog at themuseumgoer.com, and I'll update that as new events enter the queue. There are also links to follow there for further details about each entry. These are the programs. At 5:30 Thursday, the Amistad Research Center will present Conversations in Color, Moving On from Disaster in the Land of Opportunity. The free event will include clips from the 2011 documentary Land of Opportunity and a conversation with filmmakers Luisa Dantas and Rebecca Snedeker. A new documentary, Hope in High Water, A People's Recovery 20 Years After Hurricane Katrina, will screen at the Ashe Cultural Arts Center at 5 p.m. Sunday. Former Times-Picayune reporter Trymaine Lee is host and executive producer. The Ella Project will host the State of New Orleans Culture 20 years after Katrina, a free reception and panel discussion at 5 p.m. August 28th at the New Orleans Jazz Museum. After a ribbon cutting at the Presbytere to mark the Living with Hurricanes, Katrina and Beyond renovation at 9 a.m. August 29th, a free symposium will take place at Le Petit Theater from 10 a.m. to noon. Panelists will include Louisiana Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, Walter Isaacson, and Aaron Broussard. Norman Robinson will moderate.
So, the Presbytere, they're updating that and renovating that exhibit.
Yeah, originally opened in 2010, the exhibit needed a refresh with updated tech and an expanded story to bring the recovery narrative up to the present. I'll have lots more details about that work in next week's segment. In further programming, the Then and Now photography exhibit will open at 6 p.m. August 29th at the George Dunbar Gallery in Slidell City Hall. A related commemorative event is scheduled for 4 p.m. August 30th at Slidell Municipal Auditorium. At 6:30, September 4th, the Jackson Barracks Military Museum will host a presentation by Major General retired John Basilica Jr. about the Louisiana National Guard's role during and after the storm. By the way, one of the storm's best remembered artifacts is on display in the Jackson Barracks Military Museum's excellent Katrina exhibit. At least it was the last time I visited, on loan from the State Museum as it happened. Those are the plywood boards Bob Rue used to ward off potential looters at his Saruk rug shop on St. Charles Avenue. His message, "Don't try. I'm sleeping inside with a big dog, an ugly woman, two shotguns, and a claw hammer." Three additional exhibits on view now. Dapper Bruce Lafitte, A Time Before Katrina, an exhibit of large-scale drawings, is on view at the New Orleans Museum of Art. The photography exhibit Looking Back, Hurricane Katrina at 20, is on view at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art. And Surviving Katrina, The Hope, Healing, and Rebirth of New Orleans, an exhibit of paintings by Ted Ellis, is on view at the Tate, Etienne, and Prevost Center. In other non-Katrina related programming, and this one sounds like a lot of fun, the historic BK House and Gardens is hosting a New Orleans Storytellers Social Hour, a free event for local tour guides, carriage drivers, performers, historians, etc., from 5 to 7 p.m. today. Also today, the National World War II Museum will host a Dinner with a Curator presentation at 6:30, dedicated to New Orleans boat builder Andrew Higgins' role in the Allied war effort. And that museum's exhibit, Fighting for the Right to Fight, African American Experiences in World War II, closes Sunday. More about both at nationalww2museum.org.
Well, big anniversary, and there is a lot of activity there. If you want to find out any more about anything we've talked about and other items, make sure you check out Dave's website, themuseumgoer.com. Dave, thanks so much. We'll talk with you next week.
See you then. Thank you.